Alternative Talk 1150.
Welcome to the Manuchehri Show, where energy and medicine meet. I will be your host for the next hour. I have over 19 years of healthcare experience and began my career as an energy medicine practitioner while working as an oncology nurse at a Seattle area hospital. My skill in moving energy combined with my medical background have been a catalyst for change in many people's lives. I hope the next hour will be transformative for you as well. Good morning and welcome to the Marie Manuchehri Show. We're live here it's going to be hot today in Seattle, but oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. It's just stunning.
Should we have brought the hose in so we can cool you down?
No. There's
Okay.
air conditioning here in the Hubbard
So we don't have to get
studio.
dramatic.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I am a little overdressed for the weather.
See, that's
I have
why.
a little sweater, sleeveless fit sweater on and long yoga pants versus capri. But I thought it was going to be cold, but it's really not. I had the air on in the house when I left, and yeah, it's warm, but it's beautiful.
You're always trending. You're always looking fabulous.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Me, on the other hand, not so much.
Oh, yeah. What are you talking
That
about?
T-shirt and jeans. That's
Good, as you should. As you should. How fun is that?
But my tearaways. No, I'm just kidding.
You're what?
My tearaway jeans. Like, whoosh.
Oh.
Lisa got it.
You're so funny.
Or at least they're not jorts.
They're not
Jean
jorts?
shorts.
Oh, yeah. I don't.
Yeah,
No,
no.
those
Those were
aren't
like
good.
early 90s.
No,
Not going to go back to that.
I think I got a couple pair of those actually hanging around.
But that's different. That's a female thing versus a male thing.
Oh, okay. All right.
Maybe
okay.
that's just me, though.
Yeah, so we're talking about fashion here on the Marie Manuchehri Show.
For a little bit.
Just for a tad. Last night we wrapped up our empath class online. So
Good.
fun. Totally enjoyed it. Amazing questions. Really elevated consciousness discussed. It was just pure bliss and super interesting. So thank you everyone who participated in that online course. And the next online course will be September 11th and 18th. It's the meditative art of automatic writing, which is a way that you allow your higher self or divine, again, whatever language you want to use to describe, your omnipresence to move through you through writing. And something I do every single day and have for at least 20 years. So it's very effective and informative, and it's a meditative practice. So it's another way to learn how to meditate and also gain insights. Really phenomenal. So we're taking calls today on the show. We're not interviewing anyone right now, or today, I should say.
Yeah, we're taking a day off.
We're taking a day off from
And
interviews.
it's all for you.
Oh, so sweet.
Mhm.
So who do we have?
We'll start with Amanda calling in from the Texas area. Hi, Amanda.
Okay.
Welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
I heard, Amanda, that you've been calling in since kind of early this
If this
morning.
is the same lady.
I have struggled with the time difference.
I'm so
It is
sorry.
just
No, I mean,
amazing.
it's a real thing because in my office, because I do sessions for people around the world. Yeah, it's a little. I mean, Lisa does a great job getting everybody, but still people forget, or even I forget. I'm like, okay, what time are we doing all this? Right? Yeah. So good job, and thank you, Benny, for
Persistence is key. That's what we're looking at here.
for
Good job, Amanda.
intervening.
Oh, thank you.
Even before we got here, so that Amanda could be on the
Yep.
air. So, Amanda, what can we do for you?
Well, Marie, I'm so excited and I'm so nervous. So bear with me.
Is this
But,
your first
I
time
love-
calling into the show?
Yeah, it's my first time ever doing anything remotely like this.
Well, congratulations and welcome.
Well, thank you. So real quickly, I lost 3 family members within a 7-month time period.
Wow.
And so I was hoping that you could give me some homework, a what if question, something like that to kind of help me get over the hump.
How long has it been since you lost
Well,
these
I
people?
lost, we had a granddaughter that was stillborn
Oh.
in December.
Oh, I'm so
I
sorry.
lost my mother-in-law in January,
Mhm.
and I lost my father last month.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so
Oh, thank
sorry.
you.
So the grandbaby went first, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, I know this is going to sound, a little odd, but, your mother-in-law and your dad, right? Your father who passed. So sometimes what happens is if a child is going to cross over, and this was a child that hadn't really fully emerged onto the earth yet, so there wasn't like earthling relationships, right? But nevertheless, a
Correct.
beloved, desired child. Sometimes family members who are going to pass, maybe not right away, but eventually maybe they're like getting tired of being here. Like, hey, I've got a grandbaby that's going to cross. Ooh, that grandbaby doesn't even know anybody on the other side from our family. I'm gonna sneak on over there. Does this kind of sound like your mother-in-law? Maybe I'm gonna sneak on over there and be there to like embrace this child that's connected to this large family. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So that's what happened. That's what
Oh,
occurred.
wow.
That wasn't necessarily, and it's your dad that passed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't necessarily your father's point of view before he left, but he said it has been a positive experience once he got there. Like, oh, and here's a beautiful baby that was going to be in the family that still is, of course, right? But not in the way of a long term relationship connection. I think your dad, before he left his body, was kind of sad. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so he had a lot of, and I don't know if he had long-term depression or if whatever was going on in his life that led him to leave his body, was the sadness that was, not long-term, but was a short-term thing. But he tells me he was really sad before he left, and that he's still kind of dealing with the sadness. It's like he says it's so interesting because he says the other side is like going to Disneyland for like your family. It's super fun. It's very interactive. There's this playfulness. It's like, do you guys like Disneyland?
I've never been. We don't go
Really?
anywhere in the family.
Okay, well, you guys need to go. You guys need to go
We
to,
do.
yeah, like Disneyland is not my cup of tea. I did take my kids there once and it was fine, but it's not like I go, oh, I can't wait to go back to Disneyland. But I think your family would love it. And since you guys don't go anywhere, this could be a fun trip. You might get a lot of family to go. So your dad says he's on the other side. He can see Disneyland or he's kind of using that as a metaphor for happy, fun, let's go play kind of energy, but he's not quite there yet, which is interesting. That's not how most people experience the other side. Most people cross over regardless of their circumstances and feel enormous freedom and enormous expansion. So your father's working on resolving this sorrow because he doesn't know how to totally let go of it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And he needs to learn how to do that because it's not healthy to stay in. And he wants me to tell you because he doesn't want you to worry about him. He goes, tell her right now because I don't want her worrying about me, that he's happier than he was before he passed, but he's just not yet in that euphoric place. The baby,
Yeah.
on the other hand, wasn't planning to live a life on Earth. The child did not want to have a lifetime on Earth. So the child chose the circumstances for it to leave or not, physically have a lifetime here. It just wanted to be cherished and adored in utero, which it was. It was cherished and
Absolutely.
adored in utero. And even after its birth, it was cherished and adored, even in its non-living state. And it was healing a long, 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 long time wound that over lots of periods of times it didn't feel very wanted in utero. And so this is the way it chose to have that healed within its consciousness. Isn't that interesting?
That is amazing. You were spot on in everything.
Well, your mother-in-law is a hoot over there, by the way, on the other side. She's definitely running the show over there. She's like the cruise coordinator, is how I would describe her. And she just wants me to tell you that she loves all of you very, very, very much. And she's grateful for the time she had in a body and for the relationships that she was able to create with her loved ones. And she's totally in that euphoric place on the other side. But they all love you and everything's fine. So I mean, it's got to be hard to have that much loss in such a short period of time. I mean, not only for your own grief, but for your family's grief.
Sure.
But just know that everyone really is okay.
Okay, wow. Well, I really appreciate it.
Sure, sure. I hope that's helpful. And thank you so much for calling in from Texas. We really appreciate the conversation.
I appreciate you, Marie. Y'all just made my day.
Oh, good.
Go ahead and have fun too. There's plenty of Six Flags around Texas and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. You don't
see?
have to go to
I'm already looking them
Disneyland.
up for you.
Oh, thank you,
I'm on top of
Vinny.
it. That's what we do.
Oh, that's so sweet. You don't even have to go to Disneyland. I love
No,
that.
Six Flags is good.
Right.
Thanks, Amanda.
Although
Thank y'all.
yeah, thank you. Six Flags is they have some scary rides there too.
Yeah,
like
there's
little
plenty to
scary-
go around in Texas. Bigger is better. So
That's
what they
right.
say.
That's
what
right.
they
I
say.
forgot about that.
So 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show. We are opening up the phone lines today and taking your calls, of course. And we'll take Elena calling in from California. Hi, Elena.
Hi, how
Hi,
are you?
Elena. We are lovely. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. Um, I'm good. I think that I have two sons,
Mm-hmm.
and one, his name's Tyson, and he's 4 years old, and he has developed vitiligo
Uh-huh. Yeah.
in his on his nose a little bit,
Uh-huh.
and my mother has it really bad,
Mm-hmm.
all over, and it's always been my biggest fear that either I would get it or my children, and now he has it,
So,
and I'm like obsessing because I know it's
yeah.
not a lifetime illness and he's going
No,
to be fine, but
I
yeah,
just want to say, whatever you are afraid of and obsessing about, you are attracting it. So you have to stop that
am I?
immediately. Yes. So energy is
Okay.
powerful, and you are one of those people who's in the upper echelon of powerful energy. So where
Yeah.
you are, so that means it's going to happen faster for you than it would another person. So
Mhm.
whatever you focus on, you're attracting, even if it's stuff you don't want. So you can't give yourself the time to think, feel, or analyze stuff you don't want because it's going to be there.
Yeah.
And so he's so cute, by the way. I
He's
just He's
adorable.
adorable. So I just don't want you to worry about this. I don't want you to fret about it. I don't want you to think about it. I want you to start loving it. So one of the ways that we
Mhm.
can transmute things that have occurred in our life that we don't want is you actually fall in love with it.
Okay.
So can you fall in love with his nose? And
I can. I think that that's what it is. I'm just like, is there something else I can do to
I think the
help
answer
this
is
process?
yes, but I really feel strongly because, see, everything happens energetically first. And your
Mhm.
energy, which is strong, stronger than the average
Mhm.
person, is sending out all this fear. And what you're not recognizing, or we are now that we're having this conversation, is that fear is attracting more of this autoimmune issue.
Yeah.
And so you have to, you are not allowed to think about this anymore.
I know,
You have to
because I
completely
feel like
stop.
my other son might be getting it too around his mouth, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
Well,
am I just doing this? Am I making this happen?
it's not your fault, right? Like
Uh huh.
every being is responsible for their own life and their soul is participating, but you're
Okay.
definitely not helping. You're
Yeah.
attracting more because it is affecting you because these are your children and you're the one who's in
Yeah.
charge of their health and well-being. So I want you to put on the brakes. I want you to
Okay.
I want you to start distracting yourself. On the way to the radio station today, Lisa, my assistant, and I were in the car, and she was saying, she didn't tell me what it was, but she said she was like overthinking about something, recently. And all of a sudden she was driving and she noticed that someone's rear view mirror was a little odd. And she just kind of stared at it for a while. And then she started looking at all the rear view mirrors. And she said it really distracted her from this thing that she didn't want to be thinking about. So I don't care
Mhm.
how you do it. I don't care what it looks like. I want you to start distracting yourself pronto because
Mhm.
when you stop vibrating in the fear, you move into the nothingness, which is probably the most powerful vibrational system we could be in. And that's when we get clarification, that's when we get insight, that's when resolution can happen. That's when we get ideas and we
Mm.
hear what we need to do, but you can't hear it, see it or feel it when you're in fear. It's impossible for everyone. Not just you,
Mhm.
but for everyone. So you have to stop and this is going to help you for your own health down the road
Yeah.
because we want you to
Yeah.
live a long life so
Mhm.
you can have relationships with your grandchildren and hopefully your great grandchildren,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so this anxiety ultimately hurts you the most.
Yeah.
All right. So you got some homework,
Oh,
babe.
I know. I do. Okay. Well, thank you so
You're
much. So that makes
welcome.
complete sense.
Good. And keep us posted. I want to know how you, what happens to you that helps you to maneuver through this strong pattern of moving into fear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I will definitely. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thanks, Elena, for joining us from California. 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show. Get in now. We have some lines open, and we'll take one more before our first break. We'll take Samantha calling in from Seattle. Hi, Samantha.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Samantha. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Oh, good. What can I do for you?
So I came and visited you this past spring, and you had mentioned that my organs seemed a little tired. And
And did I
lately,
say your organs? Like your,
yes.
okay, okay, yeah. I won't remember. It's one of those interesting things. So,
Oh no, but I just wanted to follow up and just
yeah,
kind of check in and see how my body seems to be functioning
sure.
now.
So did you do anything different?
So yes, I took a variety of different supplements. I
Oh.
integrated some blue-green algae, some
Oh,
adrenal support, and
good. So
some D3.
oh, good. That's wonderful. Are you feeling better?
I am feeling better, but lately I've been kind of feeling like I've been pushing myself just a little too much and have been bruising really easily and just kind of had a little couple small things come up. But that's the primary reason I wanted to call today to touch
Mhm.
base.
Well, I draw out your energy and I don't see a leak anywhere. So I would say what you're doing is absolutely working. I also feel that you have a lot in common with our last caller, that you worry about stuff. Would you say that's true?
Yes.
Okay, you have to stop this because you also have strong energy. So, strong energy is a good thing. It's a great thing, actually. But where you direct it depends on what you're receiving. Because remember, wherever you're putting energy out, that's what you're attracting. So, if you're in worry, you're attracting stress and anxiety, which is not good for your neurological system,
Yeah.
right? And then that can affect the rest of it. But you don't have a leak anywhere. So, I would say that what you've done thus far has been helpful. And when you get a bruise, try not to make it into something. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you know what I mean, but you're going to have to work on that, right?
Yeah. If I get a
Okay.
bruise, and I know it's a small little thing, I'm like, does that mean that I have an iron deficiency and I need to do this
Yeah.
or that? And I kind of just go into a
Let's
spiral
not
of thinking
go
that's a
there.
signal. Yeah.
Right. So when you have that thought, you're sending that out to the universe. And this is a universal law. This is based on science, quantum physics. Where your thoughts go, you pull that in. So it's imperative. It's so imperative that we be conscious of where our thoughts are going. And like your case, you are, and don't go there. You've got to constantly distract yourself. It's kind of like Charles this morning, my dog, who's so adorable. He found the linen bag in my closet. I put because I love when I do the holiday dinners, I have real napkins. And so I don't press them or anything until right before the holiday, but I wash them and I put them in this linen bag. And then I pull them out and, do whatever I do. He found it and he kept taking all the napkins out and running around the house with them. So I had to distract him. And then finally, of course, I'm like, okay, put the linen bag on a shelf, right? So you need to distract yourself and then put something on a shelf. You're going to have to think of your worry like a dog. And dogs need to be told what to do. They have to be crated. They have to learn to sit. They have to learn to wait. They have, you know what I mean? You need to do this with your brain and not give it full rein. Otherwise, it's going to find that linen bag and chew up all the napkins, and Christmas will come and you won't have any cloth napkins. Okay?
No, that's a great analogy. Yeah, no, that's really helpful. Thank you.
Good. You're welcome. Have a beautiful day.
You too. Bye.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Samantha, for joining us. 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show. We're off to our first break of the hour, and we've got some lines open, so give us a jingle. We'll be right back. Communicating with our loved ones living on the other side is a normal process that we were all meant to do. The other side vibrates on a high energetic vibration, as do all the beings, including your spirit guides living on the other side. Join Marie for a 2-day workshop, November 9th and 10th, as you learn the necessary tools to increase your energetic vibration, allowing you to hear, see, and feel those living in the spirit world. Go to energyintuitive.com for more information about the workshop.
With Make-A-Wish, the impossible becomes possible. A girl battling cancer can become a race car driver battling the course. The boy showing all the nurses his fire trucks can take the helm of a real one. Wishes can give kids with critical illnesses the strength to keep fighting, get better, and grow up.
Where there's a wish, there's a way.
Wishes need you. Visit Make-A-Wish at wish.org.
Join Marie in her new 2-part online course, The Art of Automatic Writing, September 11th and 18th. In this course, you will learn about this powerful and meditative practice that rejuvenates, inspires, and allows an increase in one's awareness and a better understanding of how the universe communicates. A recording of the class is included in registration. Go to energyintuitive.com for more information. That's energyintuitive.com.
Alternative Talk 1150 is your sports organization's safe bet when it comes to airing your team's games. Our players are all seasoned professionals when it comes to sports programming. Imagine your games being heard on local radio. Your team deserves the MVP treatment. Call 425-653-1150 today to learn how affordable and fun it is to broadcast your games on the radio. Call 425-653-1150 and make your next season something special. That's 425-653-1150.
Ready to shake things up? Try Alternative Talk 1150.
Manuchehri Show. We're live here in gorgeous August. You know, I think a lot of people, at least I hope, are getting their vacations in before their kids go back to school, or they go back to school themselves.
Yeah, 2 weeks for
or
ours.
teachers before they go back to work. You know, like, yeah.
Some are already prepping.
Yeah. Well, actually here, but, you know, even in, I think the East Coast, they're already back in school. I think some schools, anyway, are back in session. But your kids go back at the end of August.
Yeah, the 28th is when they start.
Wow.
Here. Yep.
So
So
early.
they're getting prepped. They're like, we don't want to go. I was like, yeah, you do.
You're like using some psychology on them, right?
Yeah.
What grade are they going to go in
They'll
now?
be in third grade.
Oh, third
I know.
grade.
Oh, little guys.
Oh,
Yeah, they're going to love it. I know they are.
Yeah, they're going to love it. Okay, who do we have?
Yeah, well, if you're just joining in and tuning in, it's the Marie Manuchehri Show. The number for the show is 877-825-8828. And we'll take Larissa calling in from the Kenmore area. Hi, Larissa.
Hi, Larissa.
Hi, how are you guys doing?
We're great. We're neighbors. I live really close to you.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, you know.
That's right.
Okay. That's great. What can I do for you?
Yeah, what I'm calling about is this weird thing that's been going on with my esophagus. It happens only sporadically, and most of the time it's when I'm out eating in a cafe or restaurant, and it just happens suddenly. It's like it clenches up, and I cannot eat anymore. I have to get what's in my mouth out of my mouth.
Oh, that's so scary.
Yeah, it is scary, like spitting it out, and it takes about 5 minutes for everything to calm down, and then it's normal. And the last one I had, I was at PCC eating something and in their hot bar, and it just all of a sudden hit, and I had all of this phlegm coming up
I'm so
in my mouth that I had to spit up. And it's only happened once at home when I was eating a hard-boiled egg. But normally the foods it's happening on, I can eat without any problem at all. I can swallow a handful of supplements. I just don't know what's bringing this on.
Well, you're having a spasm, right? So your esophagus is spasming. Something's happening. And so this is going to be, this energy I think has been building for a long time. And this is about speaking your truth. So how good are you at expressing your real feelings, and do you know what you really feel?
Yes, I'm very outspoken.
But that's
I
different.
know it's second chakra stuff, but I have no trouble speaking my truth.
Well, there's a difference between being outspoken and speaking your truth. So
okay.
Yeah, okay. Because when you said that, I'm in your brain and I can see you are clear about things and you communicate them, but that's not truth. That's just from your brain still.
Wow, okay.
So I do think there's a cutoff between your emotions and your consciousness, because I literally see a line just above the second chakra, between the second and the third chakra. And that's a metaphor to me that you're cut off from your emotional body. And I don't mean you don't feel, you're highly empathetic, so you feel others, but I don't believe you feel yourself. And unfortunately, a lot of times what happens for an empath, because they feel so much around them that has nothing to do with them, they assume that they are feeling their own emotions. And then they also make decisions based on the feelings of others versus their own personal emotional space. So I'm going to recommend that you start resting in your body, toes, knees, hips, or lower abdominal area, and start asking yourself often, what am I really feeling?
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that does fit.
Okay. And then you have some misfiring going on in the seventh vortex, which is about the neurological system. So we definitely want to get you, this is like the perfect time to take this seriously, not about, well, of course, have checkups or whatnot that you feel are necessary, but take this seriously in terms of moving the energy in a more positive, healthier way for you so that nothing else happens. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be imperative for you. Have you ever had therapy before?
No.
Yeah, I'm not surprised because you don't want to get to these emotions. So I would encourage you to find a therapist and somebody who's comfortable with energy and consciousness and all of that so that you can start to be in your body in a way that is authentic for you. And then these symptoms can go away and nothing else can start to go weird because we don't want anything else to go weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want you to start looking for a therapist. I do.
Okay.
You never have to do anything I say, but I think that's going to help you to start to deal with whatever repressed emotions you have.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that does fit.
Okay. Good.
Did you see any chakra leaks, other than what you mentioned?
Just the second, well, actually the crown. So you have a leak in the crown chakra and the second chakra. So the second chakra governs your emotions, and the seventh chakra governs the neurological system. So that's why I want you to really get on this in terms of figuring out what you're feeling, perhaps through a counselor or a therapist. I think that would be a good start if that feels comfortable for you and you find someone you want to work with, because I don't want this to continue to move into the neurological system. But the rest of your root is leaking too. So that means there is something definitely going on. And remember, everything happens energetically first. So how we heal things is through energy first. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. This is exciting, though. It's going to change your life. It's going to be a great thing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay. Well, thank you so much for that insight.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day.
And you too.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, Larissa, for joining us. 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show. We'll hang around in the area. Actually, we'll stay in Bothell.
Oh,
Aaron.
Bothell.
Yeah, Aaron's here. Aaron, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Good morning. Good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. What can I do for you?
Hi. I am just going through some transition in my life currently that's kind of big and wanted to get your insight on it.
Do you want to tell me what it is?
Yeah, I'm going through, so my marriage is changing. It's,
okay.
Yes.
Because you know what
so we're going to be co-parents now.
Okay. You know what it felt like to me? It felt like you were already divorced.
Oh, okay.
Seriously. Yeah. So
yeah.
Has it moved really quickly, this decision, like go from 0 to 100 really fast?
I think it's not necessarily for me. I think the reality of it maybe was quick once I decided to start talking about it out loud with my spouse. But
And are you guys still living together?
We are, not for very long.
Good. Yeah. So actually, this is really good for you. This is excellent for you. Do you agree?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I don't think you just think it. I think you feel it. Like,
yeah.
You're excited.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a great thing.
Yeah. So I guess any feedback on continuing to support, like staying in my center while trying to be supportive and caring in the transition.
Well, see, so this is kind of the tricky part, and other people may not agree with me what I'm about to say, but one of the reasons why you're divorcing is because it wasn't working, right? And so I think you're talking about being supportive for your future ex. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, he needs to go figure out his own support.
Yeah.
You're not it, babe.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
It doesn't mean you won't be kind, of course, and, you know.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about that, but this has been one of the problems in the marriage. So, at least in my opinion. So he has to go find different support. You can't be it.
Yeah. Okay.
How does that feel?
That feels great. It makes
Okay.
it makes total sense.
Yay. Yay. So, and that will be good for him to go find someone else who can give him advice that maybe he would be open to listening to or having a different experience. And you're also so excited that I don't want you to like decrease your excitement because you're taking care of him.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't think that's healthy either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Yep.
All right. Good. Go have fun.
Thank you. Okay.
Alrighty,
Bye.
Thanks, Aaron.
You know what's funny is I feel like when I got divorced that I won the lottery. It was such a positive, happy, I mean, it was crazy, you know, everything that happened. And despite all the craziness, which of course Aaron and her partner will not have any of that, I just felt so incredibly fortunate. Even to this day, I'm just like, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. It was just so amazing.
It's good.
Yeah, it's
Great
really
stories
good.
all around.
Right.
All right. Well, 877-825-8828 is the number for the Marie Manuchehri Show. If you're just tuning in, we have lines open, but they're closing fast, so you got to get in quickly. Prashad from Redmond, I believe. Prashad, did I get that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
great.
Yes, we did.
Hello. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, yes.
Good. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I want to know if my dad is all settled down. He crossed over, I think, in 2012. He passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
One thing I couldn't do to him is like I couldn't advise him to go for a second opinion. He had some cancer. He directly went for surgery. I was here in U.S. and he was in India, so that bothers me.
It bothers you. So I'm just going to I'm just going to say again what you said. So it bothers you that your father was sick, he had cancer, and he wouldn't take your advice, or you weren't able to help him in some way during his disease, and it bothers you still. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But here's what I believe, and I hope this is helpful for you. And your father knows how upset you are about this, by the way. He's fully aware, and he doesn't know what to do to really help you because your father wasn't very evolved emotionally. You know what I mean? Like he didn't really know what he was feeling. Let's put it that way, at least in my opinion. You can disagree with anything I say, but he's still learning that because whatever you don't learn here on earth, you still got to learn it somewhere. It's got to happen. But when somebody dies, it's because they're ready to cross over.
Okay.
So someone can even have incredibly successful surgery and die of a complication or get hit by a bus, weeks later. So it doesn't matter when or how someone dies. That is when the soul has decided to cross over. And this is a 1,000% absolute truth because the soul, which we embody part of our soul while we're in physical form, the soul is in charge. It's our higher self, and it's making decisions all the time. So it wouldn't have mattered if you were able to intervene or provide some sort of alternative for him. He still would have died. It wouldn't have mattered. So do you think you can kind of let go of whatever guilt you think you have about this or responsibility, which is a very empathic way of being in the world, which I don't think is healthy?
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So if you could just get into that space, like, oh, he left because he was ready and he wanted to go. It was his time. He chose. And of course, those decisions are not conscious for most people, but it still is a very subconscious decision that's occurring, and it's very clear. There's a great discussion that's happening between the higher self and the human body and archangels and God or the universe. It's a really big deal to reincarnate into a body, and it's a really big deal to leave the body. And they're not done by accident. They are done on purpose.
Got it.
Good.
Thanks for it.
And your dad's just kissing you all over your face, by the way. All over your face.
Okay.
He even said, he goes, my son looks a little bit like me, doesn't he? It was very sweet. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
One more question. Is it okay if I ask?
If it's quick.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. I meditate regularly, and one day it happened to be that my mom's dad came into my meditation, and he showed me two of my cousins. I didn't understand how to interpret that. Or was he
He was probably saying he was saying hi. He was saying hi, and please say hi to your cousins for me.
Okay.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, and he's so grateful that you were able to get those visuals. It makes him so happy. You know, so a lot of the people in your family who've crossed over, they go to you because you're like the only one there who believes in this and is open for it. So they're going to come to you, and then you get to deliver messages if you want to.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Prashad, for joining us. 877-825-8828 is the number, and we'll travel up to Alberta, Canada. We have Alexis now joining us. Hi, Alexis.
Hello.
Hi, Alexis. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm lovely. What can I do for you?
So last October, I was diagnosed with a condition called LSA disease. It's like chronic inflammation of the labia vulva area.
Yeah.
And
I'm familiar.
You're familiar? Okay.
Yeah.
And basically they gave me some steroid cream and estrogen cream and said this will be the rest of your life. So
isn't that nice? Thank you very much, right? I'm going to have to
10
use
minutes in
steroids and hormones for the rest of my life where this condition is not curable, basically, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're saying.
And I totally believe it is. Like, I don't even really talk about it by name or anything like that. Like,
That's
it's just,
good.
I don't want it to hold power, all that kind of stuff. So,
And did the creams help at all?
I used a steroid cream for 2 weeks because it was really painful. I never did use the estrogen cream. It just didn't really feel good. And so I started using like ozone oils and sea buckthorn oil, and that has helped like a lot.
Great.
But it's not gone. And I still have to put oil on every day, and it like ruins my pants and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm proud of you for finding a holistic remedy that's actually working for you. I think that's fantastic. So
thank you.
You're welcome. What this is frozen fear. So
I believe that.
Great. So the root chakra, the tip of it goes right into the perineum. And one of the places where we hold fear from an energetic perspective when we look at the chakras is the first chakra. So you've got this frozen fear that's been in the vortex for a long time, by the way, because most people see you as a very confident individual. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're not unconfident, but I mean, you've got fear. And it's not realistic. Like, you have to let go of this fear. You've got to stop. So what happened is what happens sometimes when we hold energies that are not in our chakra system, they can move into tissues or organs or bones or whatever. And so that tip of the root chakra, which is right there in the perineum, it moved into these structures that we're talking about.
Yep.
So what do you do to release fear? Since you know this, like, it's not a surprise that you have some frozen fear. What do you do?
I don't really know.
Exactly.
I pretty much sit in it.
Okay, no, I don't want you to be in it.
Yeah.
I want you to release it. Go ahead.
Well, I talked to you like a year ago, I think, and you told me to like sit in my abdomen.
But that shouldn't be fearful. That should be joyful.
I just feel like I don't know how to do it, and I know that sounds silly.
No, it does not. Believe me, so many people don't know how to do this. And so that's like last night when I was teaching an online course, because really you just want to be present. I had us breathe into our feet, and that really helped. Actually, a client had told me about a meditation that she was doing, and that popped into my mind when I was teaching the class last night. So here's what I want you to do, and I want you to do it at night.
Okay.
I want you to first imagine that your big toe is breathing, like literally inhaling and exhaling. And then I want you to let that happen. I love that it makes you giggle. That's adorable. Then I want you to,
love it.
Isn't it great? Then go to the second toe, the third toe, the fourth toe, the pinky toe. And then your big toe is always going to be breathing. The other ones are going to start breathing, but maybe that will fall off from your perception, but just go back to, that big toe is always inhaling and exhaling, and then the top of your foot, and then the bottom of your feet, then your ankles. And I think this is going to ground you and relax you and just let that anxiety go. That fear, that frozen fear is going to move out of your body because you're going to get grounded, which is what the root chakra is all about.
Yeah, I think that's my problem. I would agree.
and so when you do this exercise, you're going to become present. And in the present moment, we get in that beautiful gray space that I mentioned with one of our callers. And that's when we hear or know or feel inspiration about whatever we need or whatever's in our best interest. And that inspiration is 1,000,000% accurate and helpful and amazing. Okay?
So just fear. That's good.
Yeah, it's just fear. Yeah, that's all it is.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And this is going to go away, so don't worry. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thanks, Alexis, for joining us. 877-825-8828. We're up at our last break of the hour. We'll take it, and we'll be right back with more.
Are you ready for the sequel? Are you ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And
October is Marie's favorite time of year to teach Reiki. This fall may seem far away, but this magical and transformative course fills up fast. Each year, Marie joyfully shares the origins of her energy medicine work. Marie has been blessed with helping thousands heal, physically, mentally, and spiritually for nearly 2 decades with the energy healing modality of Reiki, a Japanese form of vibrational healing. Its origins are ancient, but its power is compassionate and all-knowing. Join Marie October 25th through 27th for this 2.5-day transformative workshop in Redmond, Washington, and meet like-minded individuals while learning the art of vibrational healing. For more information, go to energyintuitive.com.
Have you mixed your pain meds, your sleep meds, your allergy meds? Call the Poison Helpline. Has your child eaten a tube of toothpaste, a chip of paint, a wild mushroom? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you been bitten by a spider, a snake, an insect? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Join Marie in her new 2-part online course, The Art of Automatic Writing, September 11th and 18th. In this course, you will learn about this powerful and meditative practice that rejuvenates, inspires, and allows an increase in one's awareness and a better understanding of how the universe communicates. A recording of the class is included in registration. Go to energyintuitive.com for more information. That's energyintuitive.com.
Alternative Talk 1150. We're on your radio at 1150 a.m. We're on your HD radio at 98.9 Channel 3.
So many ways to listen.
We're on the web at 1150kknw.com. Streaming live audio and video as well as MP3 archives of many of our shows.
So many ways to listen.
And now, we're on your smartphone or tablet. Download our free app in the Apple App Store or Google Play and take Alternative Talk 1150 anywhere you go.
So many ways to listen.
And welcome back to the Marie Manuchehri Show. We're live here in really gorgeous, sunny Seattle. Okay, so what's going on?
Well, let's just go to these phone lines because they're just hopping right now.
Okay.
Yes. And
who do we got?
Well, if it's a beautiful day out, we can't have migraines, and apparently April's suffering from a little bit of that. So we'll check in with her. April, hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. For somebody who's experiencing migraines, you sound really lovely and happy and pepper.
Thank you. Well, they're not the traditional kind of migraine that I think most people get with the throbbing and the pain. So very fortunate. But what happens is it'll come on my left eye, and then I start to get lots of wavy, strange patterns and geometric things through one eye, and so my vision is blocked. And then after it's about 15, 20 minutes, it fades away, and then I have a kind of a light throbbing through the afternoon, but it doesn't, it's not painful, doesn't bother me. I can still work and be normal. What I think is odd is, and they come very randomly, so I started having it about 18 years old, and then it would be like once or twice in a year, but always blocking the vision. And so a few days ago, I had one, and it's been months, and I actually had two. I had one in the morning, it went away, and in the afternoon it came back again, and that's never happened. And so I'm just curious, is it emotional, energetic, or hormonal?
All three. So there's hormones that are, so what's happened, it enters and it enters energetically. It's about blocking one's intuition. So there's something you're not looking at, there's something you're avoiding, there's something you're ignoring, you're not moving forward in something in some way. That's what's happening, especially on that left-hand side, because the whole left-hand side is about receptivity. And when we start to move forward, we actually start receiving. When we stand still, it's kind of like not breathing, like it's almost like we're holding our breath energetically when there's things we need to move forward with, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And then I would take some maca root if you don't, and if you do, maybe look at the dosage and see if it can be upped.
Okay.
If that, or if you're taking, other types of hormonal remedies, I would look at that. Yeah. So that's what's going on. And the emotional part is that you're afraid to move forward. You're scared. And you know what you need to do, but you just don't want to do it. And you've been in this kind of fearful place for a while. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the image they give me, and I apologize for it. It's like, just, you got to get off the pot, you got to poop and get off the pot.
Right. Okay.
And everything's really okay, and everything's going to be amazing. Everything's going to be phenomenal.
Great.
Really, truly.
I do. I believe that. I really do.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And I hope that this, goes away soon for you. I really
Thank
do.
you.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Thanks, Marie.
Okay, have a great day.
And thanks for joining us there, April. 877-825-8828 is the number. We'll now take Joanne calling in from Maple Valley. Hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Hi, Joanne. What can I do for you?
I've been having problems off and on for the last 4 months on my lower abdomen. And it's mainly when I lay in bed at night to go to sleep. It's just like it's painful. I had an ultrasound done. I had a TC scan.
Aren't you so glad there's nothing wrong?
Yeah, they said there's no anomalies.
Yeah, nothing's wrong. That's what I said. So isn't that great, though? So here's what's happening. You're so cute. And this happens to a lot of people, that they have experiences, they have problems, and they get upset that there's nothing wrong, when this is great news. There's nothing wrong.
I know it. So why does it hurt?
Yeah. Okay. So this happens at night when you lay down, right?
Mainly, yes.
Okay. And so does it feel like it's intestinal or tissue?
It's almost like when they say horses, when they lay down and they roll over, their colon flips.
Oh, so you're feeling your intestinal tract doing that.
That's the same thought that came to mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I would trust that. It sounds like it came to you very intuitively, very intuitively. So would you say you're good at letting go?
I used to be. I don't know. As you get older, I think you get more concerned.
Yeah. So I think that I think you're a very considerate, conscious person, actually. And I think you've gotten into the habit of worrying a lot. Is this true?
Well, yeah, I didn't think I was.
Mm-hmm.
But, maybe when your house needs painting and this needs done and that needs done. And
a lot of
how
stress.
You do it.
Right. That's stressful. Would you agree?
Yes.
How about selling the house?
I have a garden, and I love my house.
Uh-huh.
And
I think it's time for a big change. I really do. You can buy another house with a garden, or a townhouse with a garden.
Oh.
I think a big change is coming in your direction, and you don't want to do it, and you feel frozen in fear. And I do think it's your descending colon that's flipping. I think your perception is right on. So here's what I want you to do. When you go to bed, I want you to put your hand on that section of your abdomen. Is it kind of on the left-hand side?
No, it's on the right.
On the right. Okay. So put one hand on the left and one on the right so that we cover both of these areas. And I want you to say to yourself while you've got your hands there, because you've got great chakra energy in both of your hands, great healing energy. I want you to just say to yourself out loud, everything's okay. Everything's going to work out great. We're on the right track. You can make it a what if question if you want to. What if everything's okay? What if we're on the right track? But I want you to soothe and nurture yourself, and so that your intestinal tract won't take on this anxiety and fear and keep flipping around.
Okay.
How does that sound?
That sounds. I do put my hands on it, and I do other things.
Yeah, but you do it out of fear.
Oh.
Almost like, stop, This is terrible. Stop. I want you to be really loving and compassionate and nurturing to your intestinal tract.
Okay.
Okay? And then keep
All
me
right, thank
posted.
you.
Okay? And just get curious about selling. Don't be black or white. Be curious. Be kind of look around like, "Ooh, where else could I live? What else could we
Yeah.
do?" You don't have to sell. I just want you to get curious about it.
Yeah, I have thought of it, and when I mentioned it to my kids, my daughter, and she says, "So what are you going to do? Go live in an old folks' home?" And
Why are you telling her? This is none of her business. And that's not a very polite response. And believe me, I don't think your daughter is very polite to you, period. That's an impolite response. I don't tell anyone who's not supportive of you when you are considering to make changes. Don't elicit the opinions or share information with people who don't just love you to pieces and show you that unconditional love. Okay? Because this is actually an exciting time for you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Joanne, for joining us. We'll take now Michael calling in from Seattle. Hi, Michael. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Michael. How are you?
Fair.
Fair. Can you retire? I know you're probably too young to retire, but can you retire? Because I'm in your body and I am just so uncomfortable.
Well, I've got, I guess, a lot of problems with, I guess, body.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't feel good to me. Do you do physical work?
No.
Huh. Interesting.
And I'm trying to avoid surgery, and so I'm doing kind of like energy type work. And
are you doing any acupuncture?
if I can, I'm.
That's a yes or no.
At least I need to get back to it.
Okay, so you've done it before, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't do physical labor, although your body to me feels like somebody who's just worked too much and their body's tired. So interesting enough, that's not happening for you. Do you have a job where you just sit all day?
I don't work.
You don't work. Okay, well, that's good because I wanted you to retire, so this is a good thing. What do you do?
What?
What do you do during the day?
Mainly, possibly, mainly, I guess, sit and do kind of like hobby.
You do hobbies, but you're sitting. Okay. All right. So, you're interesting, obviously, right?
Yeah.
Right. A little bit of a conundrum here, right? Because how I feel and what you're doing are the opposite. But sometimes things can break down when we don't use them enough, too. Like tissues and bones and ligaments and all of those things can break down if we're not putting a lot of positive energy into them. Do you ever hang out in your hips and just have a little chat with them in your lower back and just say, "Dude, I love you so much." Do you ever do that?
I haven't, no.
Could you, since you have some time, could you please do that?
Yeah, I could do that.
Great, because that's going to start to get the energy moving, and that's what we need to have happen is we need the energy to start moving in this part of your body so that we can get things to change. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. And try not to think too much. Because that's part of why we're having this lag time on the radio in your response is because you're in your brain overanalyzing and processing information before you speak, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's not healthy at all for anyone, not just you, but for anyone. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you so much. And I would continue to avoid this surgery until you've, in other words, I wouldn't recommend that you do surgery until you've shifted your energy. Hopefully you will never need surgery, but you need to shift your energy before you do something like that. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So you can get a better outcome.
Probably, what about my chakra system?
Well, I did draw it out, and it's actually pretty void. Like there's not a lot of bright colors coming in. There's not a lot of spinning. So I want you to rest in your hips and your lower back and be very loving. Start communicating to yourself and start saying kind, loving things to you. That'll start moving the energy in that part of your body. Okay? And Benny's playing the music, so that means I have to go.
We got you, Michael. We appreciate you listening and continue that for us.
Right.
We really do.
And we're sorry that we can't get to all of our callers today, but we thank everyone for calling in and sharing your stories live on a radio in front of thousands of people. We really, really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Joyful blessings, everyone. Bye-bye for now.
The views expressed on this program are